Burger. So good.
All right, very good. Let's go ahead and bring the city council work session to order for November 12th, 2024. So Councillor Cuthbertson, I'm hoping she'll be joining us on Zoom.
Okay.
For the first portion of this, and then she's hoping to join us in person after that.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and dive in, and hopefully she'll join us here momentarily. So we've got on the agenda this evening, the library discussion. So
previous episode.
Yes.
If you'd like to turn to the page on the other side of your agenda. We were talking last time about costs.
Yes.
So what I have here is your budgeted amount that we budgeted for the library. What is remaining as of the end of September. What is projected to be remaining, what's available from January 1st through 6/30 less the previous this November, December. And then based upon that, what I recommend that we provide the library from the period of January 1st through 6/30, which is essentially, as we discussed, continuing our current library janitorial at its current levels and what supplies that they may need. My basis for those numbers is underneath there. You will see the modular city hall costs. I've been in contact with folks that are, as I mentioned, are under state plan. Also, they're local. They are countrywide, but they basically are West Coast, Northern California, Oregon and Washington, and one of their manufacturing plants or set of plants is here at the Eugene Airport. So,
and what's their company name?
What's that?
What's the name?
Modular Building Systems.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So based upon that, we have some numbers here that you can see about, and this would be building a new modular unit. They have right now. They have, and this would be for what I asked is for a 24-foot by 60-foot, which is approximately the size of the current reader building that you see right there. So it's about the same footprint. Yeah, same footprint. Right now, each of our little office spaces in City Hall, with squeaks, is about 17 feet by 24 feet. Okay, so it's about, you can see, so this would include what this, and we're looking at stock, what they have up in their floor plans. So you can certainly say, well, I don't want 4 offices, I want 3, and I want an extra.
Do we want to have what about the sheriff's substation?
And then a sheriff's substation and a conference room that could also be used for the judge to come by.
Right. Gotcha.
So in that scenario, we might have that room set aside for the judge, set up, you could be conferences or the judge, because he's only here every other month.
Yeah.
And then people can wait out in the main area and be called in when the judge is ready, which actually is not a bad way of doing it. So this would take care of our existing folks that we have. I'm also asking them to spec me a small, what we call you're probably familiar with these, the contractor's trailer. The smaller 12-foot by or 8-foot by 12-foot or something of that nature as a small public works office. Okay, that would go in the back. This would all fit very nicely, plus our, parking, and we would need to have one handicap spot and that type of stuff set up there for City Hall. Yes, Councillor.
Would this provide space for storage, or are we planning on keeping storage in the current reader building?
We'll keep the storage. Most of the stuff in there is going to be has pictures now and is ready to go up on a website for auction.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
To be auctioned off.
And then would you use the current City Hall for storage until we decide what we're doing with it?
Okay.
It could be used for storage. Matter of fact, my volunteer was with me Thursday and Friday and helped me finish up the drywall.
Is that
back there.
Austin?
Actually, he's at a point now where I just told him what he needed to do and he did it. So
Nice.
yay,
Fantastic.
saved my knees.
Yeah,
Um,
great.
No doubt.
and everyone else were able to do their job. So that worked out really well. So that is secure storage back there for archives and also for our computer system, our computer storage, which is now a requirement under our insurance as well as CGIS, since we're in agreement with them that all of our files that pertain to court need to be in a locked door area. So that'll take care of that. We can use it for storage. So for the moment, we have lots of storage until such time as we build a new new City Hall.
Because it's modular, if we need to expand it in the future, we can.
We can.
Okay.
And so what I asked Zoe to give me information on basically was, what things do you currently have available? They do have a 1989 unit about the same size, but it will need a roof and some other things. That's about $90,000. A lease or lease to own is $1,700 a month, which is reasonable, and that's a $220,000 unit, brand new.
Is that 20 years or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and actually the way it starts is that what I asked her is the basic one is just essentially a lease 6 months at a time with a 6 months extension. You can add as many 6 month extensions onto that as you wish.
Okay.
That's $1,700. The contract, there is a Southwell that has an Oregon State contract that does financing, and she's getting me the financing number. So if we wanted to do a longer term,
Mhm.
we could do that, or a shorter term with the idea that we would go to the voters and at some point, it might take several years, but get a new city hall structure built. So it gives us
Those-
some options.
Would those 6-month extensions be subject to an interest increase or monthly rate increase? Or would we be locked into a
It would
good
be
rate?
locked in, but I
Okay.
believe the lock-in period is for a period of 3 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so
Then it'll change.
then it would change, right?
Got it. So originally we were thinking that those prefab buildings were around 80,000. Did,
$80,000 to $90,000 for a used one, yes.
oh, used one.
Yeah,
Got it.
those are
Okay.
used, and you're like a used educational system. And those kind of come and go. So right now, they have a couple of those 60 by 24 in stock. They have others, but a 60 by 24, which is about that footprint that would hold all of the parts and components that we currently have,
Yeah.
is either they build for us and move on site, or we can find a used one and.
Well, and
fix
if
it
you
up
buy a
and do it.
classroom one, then, you're basically having to remodel the inside
You are.
to make,
Right,
Yeah.
to make it
Whereas
work
this
for you.
one is basically built to our specification. And they
Got it.
already have a floor plan I've already seen that would match up very closely to what our requirements are.
Okay.
I support this. I just, with the current reader building that is essentially condemned and not safe, is there any chance that for the same price, 220 or maybe 90,000, we could make it safe, or it's just so far gone?
No,
Okay.
the inside, the slab is cracked
Okay.
in several places.
And it
um,
can't be, that slab can't be replaced or,
No, well,
Okay.
yeah,
Have to
basically,
tear it
you're in the
out.
same position with that building as you are with City Hall. It would have to be demolished and rebuilt.
oh, okay.
It's not, that's not in that structurally great condition.
yeah.
Have you been
well,
inside of it?
I know they've been talking about the reader building coming down for
A long time.
yeah.
more than 5 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been discussed for
Yeah.
a while.
Cool.
Me being in a barn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
It is a barn.
Yeah.
It was a garage.
Yeah.
It was a,
Once upon a time,
an
yeah.
auto mechanic, it was a mechanic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking of the reader build. I mean, the current city hall with
Oh,
the,
City
I'm
Hall.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said reader building. I meant the current city
No,
hall
oh.
that Ram Jack was.
When they
Um,
did the inspections, they said it wasn't going to be because of the way they did the roof, right?
It was the
That they
roof,
couldn't,
yeah, the supports for the roof on the
And
walls.
it's not reinforced
It
brick,
couldn't
and he
get
felt
terracotta
that
brick
so the
too.
engineer, we had a seismic engineer, a PE,
Mhm.
okay, and he signed it with his PE stamp, said that it is not economically feasible to
Oh.
repair.
Okay.
He says the
to
cheapest.
make it size.
Or make it
seismically.
seismically
You almost
safe.
have to rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah, so his recommendation was to,
Tear it
it would
down.
be
Yeah,
cheaper to level it, keep the parts and pieces that might have historic significance, like maybe the brick facade,
Hmm,
and rebuild it
okay,
with a stick structure that would meet the current code for.
Even this
a
building
D2.
eventually needs
Oh, yes.
seismic.
Oh, yes, this
Oh, yeah.
building is not any different.
This is the same thing, but there's more space in here to be able to, I think, because also the roof,
the roof is in a different situation.
they could
Configuration.
basically make thicker walls to put
And this one's already broke the wall.
a retrofit structure
Not
and
quite as
Back
bad.
over here.
You
we had
lose
an
some
earthquake
square
that
feet
broke
on
the
each
wall
wall.
over here.
yeah.
Yeah,
got it.
The-
Thank you,
the-
Steve.
The city hall has they installed, it originally had a flat roof on it.
Yeah.
So that was the fire roof. And then instead of removing, if they would have removed the roof, they would have had to bring the whole structure up to seismic standards. They couldn't, same issue.
Yeah.
They would have had to rebuild it. So instead, what they did was they put the existing roof you see now, truss roof, over the slant roof and put some pony walls up to level it out. As a result, you have that roof plus this other roof. The other roof that provides no structural support to the building. This one does,
Okay.
but that one does not.
Oh, it's just additional.
Additional
weight.
dead weight.
Oh
So
my
what
gosh.
happened
Very bad
is, according to
earthquake, yeah.
the seismic engineer, is the thing would pancake.
Yeah.
Come straight down.
Okay.
So it'd be like the Nimitz Freeway in Oakland.
That was a big pancake.
I used to
Yes.
travel that a couple times a month.
Oh, gosh.
So no, I remember us having some funds like from a long time ago that were budgeted for improvements to the current city hall before.
We tied it into our reserves, and that's $32,270.
That did roll, that is.
Yeah,
part
that
of
is
the-
rolled in
City,
there.
Okay.
Because I knew there was some in building reserves. I didn't know if
Right,
the,
and that's what I have down here, it's 32,270. If we go with the utilizing the janitorial and janitorial supplies, what would be left would be 15,995 out of that, which would approximately equal 3 months lease. This building would be available in the late March timeframe.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this the 1989 one we're talking about or the new one?
At this point,
Okay.
a brand new one.
Phew.
Jeannie's, sorry to interrupt. Jeannie's trying to get on. She's waiting for the host. Sorry to
Me?
interrupt you.
No, no problem.
I don't think,
does
I
it
don't
show
see,
her on
Yeah.
there?
I
it
don't
only
see
shows
her
one
on there
participant.
as a,
Does she have the right meeting number?
I don't know.
On the
So
link.
let's,
Okay, we see you, but
let's, see if I can get back to the, host ID is here. So the meeting ID, you can see that, Mr. Mayor, 873-3844-3270.
Oh,
okay, let me give that to her.
Winthrop is having similar issues.
Okay, so let them know the meeting ID is 873-3844-3270.
Yeah, Counselor Winthrop message she's trying to get on too.
873-3844.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oops, it helps if I can type it correctly.
3270.
Anyway,
Right,
whether or
sorry.
not it's gonna have to say March, does that include,
Where is that
3270?
873 number? Do you see it?
73.
Uh-huh.
Well, we
Is it
would have, if we move ahead with this, then we need to start moving ahead with getting rid of everything out of the reader building, get it demolished, doing the site prep and all that. So that would give us
I'd find us
3
too.
months basically
Right.
to, in bad weather, but
Yeah.
the good news is with that is you have lots of contractors available
Sure,
who are willing to work at a little lower price than,
yeah, they won't be busy. Except for this one,
except for this month.
off seasons.
Yes. Yeah, I just met with a contractor today and
And they don't need a password because you can, because.
yeah,
they're
they shouldn't,
blocked.
they shouldn't
going
need
in
one. No, I
automatically.
didn't password protect it.
Okay. PIN number or whatever.
No, but you have to have an Azure ID.
See if we can get them in. Give it a moment here. Well, they both have got the meeting ID number, so.
You guys have planned on putting Pine Street all the way through to Fifth Street.
Can't. It was never a street designation going across into the library.
On that lot there.
That the library owns that.
Actually, at one time, it was plotted as a street going through. I don't know when the map got changed. When I was a kid 28 years ago, there was a street going all the way to the river.
Well-
Okay, she's asking for the passcode.
Maybe,
don't
maybe
know
I
if we
gave you
did.
the wrong one.
There was some things that went on with some previous administrations.
She's looking for a passcode or PIN number. Maybe
Is
go
it
to-
3844?
3844 is the ID.
Well, there's the passcode.
510793. 510793.
Okay.
But the city owns a lot right there, right?
Not anymore. No, we don't.
What happened to it?
It belongs to the library. SBCEA owns it. Can only be used for library purposes.
So actually, that driveway that the Wilbur Ellis plant used to use.
It
really-
belongs to the SBCEA.
Yeah, so they can actually block that off.
Didn't the city donate the property the library is on?
No.
No?
it
No, that
Was
was
belonged to the
railroad
county.
property.
That was the, okay, that was county.
Yeah,
Okay,
they got it from the county.
okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
county and railroad, I think.
Yep,
They must talk to the railroad. too.
I know, I looked at a map in
there we go.
Okay,
1995, and the street was plotted all the way through there.
It's working.
And somebody at some time,
Because it was never, someone put it in, but it was never legally done prior to
legally done.
that in the original plats. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
all Union Pacific property. And so apparently when the county took over from Union Pacific, they got the maps drawn.
okay. I think we've got Counselor Winther and
Yeah.
Counselor Cuthbertson on now. Welcome, everybody.
Sorry.
We're just talking about the library. We're having a library discussion. And we were just talking about the cost of a modular to replace City Hall. So that's what we've been talking about. So I don't even remember where we left off.
We were discussing the costs, as you see, the modular city costs, the cost for the remainder of this fiscal year would be 48,265. And if we use our budget reserves of 32,270 plus money from the library equal to 15,995, also equals 48,265. So basically that's how we fund it. The library funding of 15,995 is essentially repairs and maintenance, which we haven't spent anything to this point, and contracted janitorial services, which is the deep cleaning pieces. Okay, not the day-to-day janitorial, but the deep
Okay,
cleaning pieces.
gotcha.
Electricity and the building alarm would go to SBCEA as of the first of the year. And our part that we would continue is the day-to-day cleaning of the restrooms, emptying the trash, minor sweeping, minor mopping, that kind of thing that we're currently doing right now. And we would extend that through June 30th of next year. They could certainly supplement that with
Whatever they want.
whatever they wish to do, or the deep cleaning pieces, how they wish to do that, but that would be the offer. And that's just, as I said, it's a recommended based
So,
upon the costs of the modular unit.
so I know we had like, an update on the kind of where the discussions were headed. Was there another meeting in between?
We've had two so
The
far.
last
We're gonna have next
and-
Next Monday.
Next.
Oh,
week.
okay, so
We have one.
we'll hear
we have
about
another
the, well, I didn't know if it was, if you had done it before this or, you
No.
know, basically if there was
one. So we'll have more
any
information. at
further
the-
progress. Yeah, at the council.
at the
Okay.
council meeting, yeah.
So this is for your discussion this evening, to make sure that we get to Monday, you can have some sort of
Mhm.
idea of what the trajectory is of our plans. But a new one, and this is again, I asked that they had plans for a 60 by 24. It's about 220. It is under state contract. They have state contracts for this, which means we do not have to go out for bids
Oh.
for it.
So
The only thing we're checking on is long-term financing versus short-term financing.
Right.
That is something you'll have to decide whether you want short-term and go to the voters for a new city hall. Or do you want to go a long-term and just say, well, you know what, the modular is fine with me. So
where did we get the figures for site prep and
Mm.
move setup? Is that from the people or is
the
that
move
just,
setup is from the company,
okay,
Okay.
and the site prep is my estimate.
okay.
I got a question. Reader Building is very, very close to that property line on the list.
It actually may even move into it.
Yeah, my map kind of shows it is, but, so where would we place it? We'd have to be 5 feet off the property line, right?
Basically, it would be in the same footprint, but just not at a weird angle.
And then you said an 8 by 12 public works office?
In the back, yes.
On the back fence line?
Get
separated?
back, yes, 5 foot separation on the fence line on the northeast corner of the property.
Oh, okay, and then you can have all your equipment back in there.
Right, you could have some equipment. We'd probably keep the equipment where it is right now, you know, basically behind the current city hall outside. That's where we kind of park and keep it.
Kind of reads it.
Yeah, it's a lean-to, but we have a parking area back there as well for equipment. We also keep equipment over on the other side by the water plant as well. We stage things in various places because we never know if we can get across or not. So
Yeah, that makes
you
sense.
gotta have some
Mhm.
supplies on either side to make sure that you're not gonna,
Yeah.
you can
Got
get to
something
it.
to
You
work
got
with.
something to work
Brandon?
with in case. But no, we would keep the basic things, but it would allow us to keep some parking areas over there for city trucks, for people that want to come in. We would let people pull in. So we'd set the modular unit back, not right up to the easement, back a little bit, so there could be parking, like
Up
an
in the
ADA
front.
parking
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
front.
Does the site prep include like a parking lot or any?
The site prep would
Grading for-
include the ADA parking lot. I'm using the same estimates with inflationary increases that we did for the park. I was here when that
Okay.
last section was done, so I'm aware of how much we spent we spent additional
Overspent.
$70,000 on that
Wow.
beyond the grant
Yeah.
Mm,
to
Goodness.
put that
yeah,
in
it
place.
was-
You still have that bus parking shelter there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
They're gonna stay?
The smoking station?
Cookie station, no, the thing is, if
Mm,
I need to talk to the veterinary transit, but the idea I talked to him a few years ago was move it over towards the Janice Cook's operation.
So, this would, I'm assuming your timeline for this would be March, April, it going in?
Going in, so we have site prep.
Because I noticed you only budgeted for 3 months of a lease.
That's correct.
And then it sounds like the 38,000 that we had previously allocated to the library, because we'd have the same amount for the next budget cycle unless we do a supplemental budget,
Right,
would more than cover the
right.
lease
And
amount,
I
because we
think-
would only cover, or according to the discussion so far was we were only going to cover the janitorial through the end of the fiscal year, which
That's
is
Yeah.
June 30.
And actual lease costs are only gonna be about $20,000 a year.
Yeah. But that's what I was,
That's all we do.
I think what'll happen is you'll find that personnel costs, particularly with our administrative assistant and everything, I think you'll find the whole budget will become a wash.
Yeah, well, no, I was mostly just wondering because I didn't know where we were come up with the rest of the month's lease. If you only put, we have money to pay for 3 months of a lease and get everything here. And then it's like, well, what do you do after that 3 months?
Yeah.
April, May, and
So if it-
April, May, and June, and then what happens is the library costs, then, we budget that into,
So we would have a supplemental budget,
fold
basically to
those in, yeah.
shift funds from library to city hall
City
slash
hall.
whatever,
Right.
wherever else we need those funds.
exactly.
Yeah, that should give us almost 40 grand a year.
Well, and it may be a little bit more than this if he was talking about doing a separate small building for,
Oh, well, yeah,
Um,
that's true.
But still, it would be very reasonable
Yeah.
compared. I mean, I don't
for,
see,
Public Works will buy used.
I see
Well,
all of our costs basically washing
Yeah.
with this and might even make up a little bit for inflation as well. So,
That'd be good.
Well, and it probably would be. I mean, you want them to have a building where they're not afraid to,
Right.
they have all their stuff in there
Right.
and like,
You don't worry about it
You don't want-
pancaking.
yes,
and you don't
An
want to be
earthquake.
beating up a whole brand new building.
right.
with
And,
the
and this gives the city options as
materials
well, particularly if you lease it out or if short terms to figure out, if you want to go to the voters for a new city hall and if that's where you want it or do you want it somewhere else?
Well, if we have it here for 3 months anyway, that will give everybody an idea of what it will look like and
Mhm.
they can give us their.
They
opinion.
may decide that this is just peachy.
Well, but the main issue with the short term is if they charge you $25,000 to move and set it up, like
Right.
that's a big capital upfront that you're losing out if you're telling them
Oh.
to come pick it up in a few
Yeah, the
months.
demo might be the same cost.
Yes. Yeah, but the estimate for the demo was, for the demo was about $32,000.
Holy heck.
Really?
Seriously?
Yes.
For the brick building across for the current,
Not for the reader building.
Not for the reader
I was
building.
thinking the reader building, like, no, I could do that.
well, I think that also there were some people that had
My truck and just,
discussed helping with the,
We'll find a reasonable way of getting rid of it that we don't have to spend a huge amount of money
right,
on it.
okay.
What we'll be spending money on really is the concrete floor is not worth anything, but we can certainly excavate that out and put the foundation piers and things in, or dig it down a little bit so we have a more ground level. So we have some options.
Right,
What we'll do is require coverage, insurance coverage if people are gonna come in and if we have someone tear it down.
If they're volunteers, then they're covered. If they're individual groups, they'll have to provide their own insurance.
We'll ask for.
Right, and what we would have to do in that case, if we wanted to volunteer it, we could do so. And there's our insurance, CIS will cover it as long as we complete all their forms in triplicate. And if otherwise, we could RFP saying we want some, groups to come in and give us a bid for tearing it down. You may keep the lumber and whatever resources from that as part of your things, but with that in mind, tell us, and you have to provide, you have
well,
to
it
be
needs to
bonded,
cleaned up. It
insured,
can't be,
cleaned up, everything has to be removed.
right.
So the RFP, the request for proposal would
Cover that.
delineate all the conditions for that.
Any known hazardous materials that we know of?
There is some loose linoleum tile that I'm sure has asbestos in it,
Hmm.
but it is loose. It is not stuck on the ground.
Okay, so it's like a.
So it can be removed
Kind of a pile.
easily.
okay.
So the issue with that is if it can break, if it's friable, then you have to do remediation. Yeah, but basically in this case, it's not a very big section. It's in the very front door when you open up the door. It is loose. It is loose to the fact that if you don't move it, you'll slip and kill yourself on it. So a lot of it just been set aside. So as long as it doesn't break, that's one thing. If you have to scrape it up with a scraper and break it,
You're in
then
trouble.
Yeah.
you'd have to have it
There used to be a
professionally remediated.
remediation company right over in Harrisburg. I don't know their name.
There's one there. There's also one out of Corvallis and Albany. There's a couple different places. It's not a very big section, though. It's just where the bathroom was. Everything else is concrete.
Didn't realize there was a bathroom there.
Yeah, there is, actually.
Okay.
There's electrical too, but kind of afraid to turn anything on. So that would be my proposal to council and
Okay.
for the negotiating team to talk to SBCEA
Okay,
next
All
week,
right.
and hopefully this can
good information.
get some resolution.
Awesome.
Yes, that covers City Hall. See how we move
Yep,
right
the
along
first
here?
two.
Cool. Thank you,
Oh,
Steve.
the next one is an interesting one. DEQ.
So I've talked with the DEQ, and of course, they would wish to fine us for not turning in our TMDL back in September with the claim that we never talked to them, which of course is not the case.
That's not true.
So I did talk to them, and after I talked to them and had their assurances with everything was okay, I had everything in within 24 hours to them by the next morning and by the next afternoon. So they reduced our fine by $1,000 from 6,000 to 5,000.
Why are we being fined though if,
Because back last September, when this was due, whatever version was due,
Mhm.
it was sent in. And I was told it was unacceptable.
Mhm.
And that's all the words that were on the email, unacceptable.
No explanation why it was.
Nation, no nothing.
Got it.
So I said, well, please tell me what it is, and didn't get a response back. In April, we received a letter, or I should just say I didn't, and the mayor didn't. Normally, these things go to the city
Oh, it
councilor.
went to-
Cuthbertson.
No, the
received
council
a
president
letter.
got it instead.
Right.
No other emails or anything. So I sent a letter, an email to Ms. Heather Tuggo, CC to the mayor, saying, all I'm asking is for, this is very confusing.
Yeah.
Let me sit down with you. It should take a moment. It did in front of Courtney Brown, the compliance officer. It only took us a few moments. Interestingly, the spreadsheet that she showed me at that time was completely redone, formatted beautifully,
Right.
with just 3 spaces that weren't filled out. Now, I don't know, folks. I mean, we could sit there and pay $5,000 and be done with it. Or we could send it to our attorney and say, here's all the information. What should we do?
So DEQ, can you, as a city, report the DEQ and say, they did this to us, can we slap their hand or whatever?
That would be during an appeal process. So we can say,
It would have to go to court, is
we
what you're
would
saying.
basically, this goes into another set of hearings before an administrative law judge.
We pay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do we have the paper trail to prove that we were in communication?
I do have the letter to Heather. I need to go back into September. I need to go back and put this time frame back together again. There were a lot of emails that went back and forth, a lot of sessions. I'm not, it's not as though I did not spend a huge amount of time with
Right.
these folks, but each time I did what I thought we were supposed to do,
Right.
I was told it wasn't what they wanted.
Without
So,
feedback from them.
What my guess is this, my guess is the state of Oregon got whacked but their plan got turned down by the DEQ a few years back. And so I had to sit down, everyone did, not just me, and redo it to their specifications, which was basically asking a small city like Monroe to do everything that big cities have to do.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, was a little bit more than what was being asked of a small city under 5,000 people. But what do? You do what you're expected to do. So this was kind of an additional thing. And it
Mhm.
was, what the explanation is that, well, we're not going to merge this into the other plan. We'll do that later. So when the other plan came in that was sent, it was basically our 5-year matrix that we put in back in 2019.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's part of that 5-year plan. And at that point, she's basically apparently wanted that other matrix that we had worked on included in the 5-year plan, which was not part of the original 5-year plan. So if you're confused, I'm confused.
Right.
And that was the issue. I'm confused. Can you please sit down with me? That was the letter emailed to Heather. So yes, we do have, that was April 2nd of this year. What they claim is that we were never in contact with them, which of course, with that email alone is false. With the other levels of confusion, I think is very reasonable
Mhm.
that we have a good paper trail of what occurred and when.
I'm concerned. I think that a $1,000 reduction is great, but paying $5,000 that we shouldn't have to pay because it's unfair, because you did everything you're supposed to do, given the information you're given, which wasn't very much.
And I'm sure,
I just
I'm
feel
sure
like-
I missed something. I'm
Sure, but
I
if they
did.
don't tell you what it is, then that's not your fault. I am concerned that $5,000 is a really big hit for a little town and it's an arbitrary hit.
It is arbitrary. I believe it is capricious and arbitrary by
Mhm.
definition. I also believe that we're being set up as an example. This is the-
Okay, so this is what I would like to suggest. Can we have the attorney?
Yeah,
help
we
us with
have
this?
legal counsel. Okay.
to ask, is it
Yeah,
okay for me to
I'm-
go to the attorney with this and,
Please.
and
We
give
pay for
her
counsel.
all my paper trail, all my information
Yeah.
and say, where do we sit on this?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Happy if we
Yeah.
have to go to court and appeal this to talk to them about picking on small cities
Yep.
that only have 723 people.
That's, and I mentioned that, and Mr. Mayor, you know that I mentioned that to you. I mentioned that to Heather Tuggow. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering her name like everyone butchers mine, so I apologize to the world up front. All I wanted was just a few minutes with them on a Zoom, and we
Right.
did that with the compliance officer. Resolved it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Done.
So it's resolved. I don't understand why we're still having to pay a $5,000 fee, fine, whatever.
I don't either.
I'd rather pay $5,000 worth of attorney's fees than that $5,000
Yeah.
of an
I
unjust
agree.
fine.
Almost sounds like we're being bullied because they don't think we'll fight back or we don't can afford to
Right.
fight back.
It's an easy win for them.
It's an easy win and it's an easy compliance win because that's what the state of Oregon, that's what these directors are under a lot of pressure. I learned that from our regulator from the water side and from Chuck and other people who have been working with these folks for a long time. Their edict is to fine.
It's
That's
quota
what
time
they're-
for them.
Fine, hammer.
I personally am tired of being pushed around as a small city.
Ew.
Then
I'm
I
sick and
will,
tired of
I
it.
have already been collecting this information and I will get it to the attorney
Thank you.
this
Thank
week
you very
ASAP.
much. If you need any help, let me know.
Thank you, I will, because
Okay.
I thank you.
Yeah.
This, it's upsetting.
It is very much
Especially
so.
when you've asked for support and just clarification and they just tell you it's
Well,
not.
to me, what that tells me is that
Got
this
nothing.
was, we want someone to do the walk of shame and it's gonna be Monroe.
That's.
No.
Well, it
No,
sounds like to me that maybe
They don't know.
regulation changed
They
during
don't
that
either.
time frame, or their
Maybe.
spreadsheet changed and
This
they
is
couldn't
all on you.
communicate the changes to us because they were unaware, and that happens often.
I will give them
No,
what
and I
I
get
submitted
that,
and what
but-
I was given.
Well, and the whole TMDL thing is new for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
this wasn't a thing
Yeah, So I
before.
think they're like, yeah, they're playing
Huge
hardball and I
lack of
think.
communication here.
Yeah, I agree.
Interrupting you.
So
Fair to us to be their example because they couldn't communicate the change.
that is
Exactly.
correct. And I think we were being bullied intentionally.
Yeah. Thank you for talking with council about it.
You're welcome.
Thank
and
you.
This is,
Yeah.
I had to be very, just brutally honest. These things hurt me more than it doesn't, social media, everything I could blow off. This I can't. This
Yeah.
is a hit professionally
Right.
and I don't like it. It's being
Right.
bullied
Yeah.
and I just don't like it.
Thank you. I
So
understand.
thank you. I will get off to Attorney and Lori, I'm sure will be great.
Thank you.
She has been very helpful to us.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm very
We pay
pleased
for
with
their
her.
service. Like that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
Too. They're the pros.
And
Ugh.
just an aside, speaking of Lori, all the certificates that the 1135 project requires are signed and in.
Oh, nice.
So
Good.
Okay.
Lori did make some changes in her section. The attorney has to sign off that everything we're doing is legal and upright and we know, so they leave nothing to the imagination of the Corps of Engineers, the federal government. Anyway, all the certificates are into the manager there. Apparently, we are to invoice and I will be putting this on the agenda next month, is we need to set up a reserve fund for the bridge scour and protect, not the bridge scour, but the water intake maintenance, long-term maintenance.
Got it.
The MOU that we signed, they're going to give us installments of $15,000, but we need to put it into a trust fund.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So we'll be invoicing them for that. And when the money is received, we'll need to accept it by resolution into
Okay.
a trust fund for this, a reserve fund.
Got to have a place to put it.
Yeah, it has to be, and it has to be in a reserve fund. So it's,
Okay.
can only be spent on,
That specific
That's
item.
specific item, yeah.
for maintaining the new water intake.
Got it.
So
Cool.
at this point, I'm going to say the project is now officially underway. So congratulations. You will have
Okay.
no dam.
Long River.
Yay,
Water,
excellent.
sparkly, clean.
Maybe.
No, strike the last word, but it will be moving. So that's good.
Sparkly or clean?
And no
Yes,
more death
sparkly.
trap.
Sparkly.
And
Bottom.
I've had some very good feedback on the pedestrian bridge.
Good.
Speaking of that,
Very good.
from ODOT Community Pass Program.
Oh,
Excellent.
interesting.
They're very excited, and actually I'm supposed to meet on the 19th with them. We're gonna go, they're gonna give us some application submittal assistance. Give us
Excellent.
feedback on it.
Wow, they want to help
They
us.
really do, that apparently there's some push,
ODOT?
Yes.
there's some push to get
Cool.
this through, so.
Fantastic. Thank you. That's great news.
Well, I can
Alright.
see them seeing it as an emergency in case that other bridge goes down anyway.
I have a feeling that there's been some
Probably.
discussion.
Yes.
And also there's a discussion as well to submit this next round SRTS for rapid flashing beacons downtown, another set.
Oh, okay, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Um,
Yeah.
ODOT may look at a signal when we put that request in.
Oh, is it
So
a
whether
traffic?
One of the
signal,
traffic signal or
or
rapid
flashing?
flashing beacon.
Interesting.
Where's this gonna be? Where?
At the moment, it would either be at the corner of Commercial
Okay,
and Fifth Street.
okay.
Basically where there's already a light. It's
Exactly.
just not a
Yeah.
traffic
Right.
light right now.
Fire.
Christmas
Yeah.
thing.
So basically, that's kind of your downtown core. So it
Okay.
gets people across the street
Right.
safely.
That'd be a good place for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and also it forces people
slow down.
to slow down because,
Mhm.
you know,
Well, is it an
Yes.
on-demand flashing light?
Yes,
or
it
a
is.
crosswalk?
It would be
Yeah.
it would be the same as the one down by the high school.
Well, I know Misty at the Christmas store, she has mentioned before we did the speed limit reduction, she said people were flying through there. It was very difficult to get across the street
well,
just
that's
to go to
why,
the arts.
like, if we have stops, like, cause I always thought if we had a stoplight at both sides of, you know, like basically at the high school and at,
Mhm.
you know, right down here, it basically forces people to stop
Yeah,
and it's harder to
Definitely.
get going 45 miles or 50 miles an hour when
Whatever, yeah.
you're at a stop and then you have to go through the light
Or 70.
as opposed to coming down the hill and having nobody
Right.
to.
Yeah, exactly.
I was, there was, as you, from the last log, we had someone going through downtown at 70 miles an hour.
Well, yeah, they had,
Yeah.
or they pulled somebody, or the cop actually was there to see it, or
Yeah.
pulled them over. And there was multiple that, you know, were, when they had that trailer out, that they had one, what was
120
110 or
miles an hour,
something like that, or 114 or something like that.
120, which by the way is the maximum speed those radars will log,
Holy
Oh,
cow.
my.
territorial.
So who
So
knows how fast they were
Counselor
going?
Cuthbertson, who's been saying this
Yeah.
ever since I've known Counselor Cuthbertson. And I've been out there too. Mark and I, we've just stopped.
That's where it's a 45, but it's still.
People come down
Yeah,
50 to 60
obviously,
miles an hour and they
3
don't slow
times faster
down
than the speed
until they
limit.
come to a stop at the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt, absolutely no
We're fine.
doubt. And 80 miles an hour on, and 80 miles an hour on Orchard.
Orchard,
Okay.
yeah.
And we're working with the county right now on either stop signs at 10th Street. Speed
Okay.
bumps were mentioned, but they'd like the stop signs better, but you
Mhm.
know, this is one of those things where I think what will need to happen is we'll need to have council think about this and put a resolution in and send it to.
Corvallis has speed bumps up on, you know, the hill.
Mhm.
You know, like up Myrtlewood Way and all of that places.
Yeah.
There's speed bumps on all of those sloped.
Oh, I know. And I leave the house if I go down, if I go down Jameson or,
Jameson.
you know, Roosevelt, all of those down the hill have it.
They're nice, gentle speed bumps, to be honest, but they still slow you
They
down.
keep you between 20 and 25 miles an hour.
Once you bottom out, you tear up your suspension, then you decide, oh, maybe, maybe
Yep, you
I,
learned.
I've seen sparks on
Need to
somebody
slow
driving
down.
over those.
Shall we move on
We
to
shall.
review of permits for short-term rentals? That's the second page here.
See online.
Yeah,
I
perfect
told her we would.
timing.
she had posted that she wasn't able to get on because I think the meeting number that's on the paper is not.
Is not the same.
It's not
Okay.
the number,
Now, we have new staff putting things in and doing stuff. So I'll have to remind folks that whatever we go online, you need to make sure that all of it is double check it. So we
Yes.
don't have that.
Yeah, well, the counselors had a hard time getting on too, so.
All right, so, but we will,
We'll get it fixed.
I am passing most of this on now to our new administrative assistant. Slowly, but there's, a lot of this has been in my head
Yeah.
up to this point. I am now passing this information on and getting new folks trained.
So this is her second week or third week?
Second week,
Second week.
and she's already doing minutes,
Good.
Nice.
scanning,
good.
filing.
Mhm.
Thursday, we have a giant Steve's massive pile of unfiled paperwork project
Party?
party day. Yes, party. I can't remember what Dawn called it, but she's so excited that we're gonna get all those piles of paper taken care of. So
Okay.
short-term rental application, basically this is, you can see it's a very simple front page here. This is kind of a draft version because I need to format it and make it fillable. But this is essentially
So this would be fillable online on the city
fillable
website?
online,
Perfect.
exactly, with all the other pertinent information. The requirements are on the back side of this. This lines up with our ordinance.
Okay.
So I just wanted to show it to you in case you were to look at it and say, what about this and what about that? There are two things on here that, because we have not codified the ordinance 04 yet, so it's not online, I will need to provide a copy of that ordinance. That's the
Okay.
one that for transient tax
Mhm.
purposes.
Right.
State of Oregon is in the process. I've applied to
Mhm.
them. So
Okay.
some of this might be, if you want to apply today, it's with the understanding that you will be paying that, but
Mhm.
we're getting it set up. But
Right.
we're not going to stop it. We're just going to say it's in process,
And the transient tax was 8%? Is that correct?
8%,
Okay.
correct. And that is consistent with Junction City and Harrisburg.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect.
And what I noted is that like Albany, Philomath, Corvallis
Mhm.
are 9%.
Oh, of course.
They 9, and others are, if you go up to Portland, it's like 14%.
Oh, my God.
But
Wait,
Gresham, everyone in a group, so no one has an unfair
Mhm.
Right.
advantage one way or the other. So down here was 8%, so that's what we passed. Otherwise, everything in here is essentially what's in our ordinance that we passed.
Gotcha.
We're allowing this in residential zones up to 10 per citywide. So basically at this point is first come, first serve.
Okay.
And they have to have operator must maintain compliance with building code, fire code standards. So Benton County was in the process of carving out a special permit for that. But the nice lady who worked with me on that was let go. So
Oh,
I'm in contact with James Wright, and we're going to they'll help us with this. What I want is for anyone who has this, have them come down and make sure that the rooms are up to room occupancy. Just like any occupied room in any residence should be. For most folks, like in Red Hills, that wouldn't be an issue.
mhm.
Some of the older homes in Monroe might be. So, but we want the building inspector, not the city of Monroe, to make that determination. But otherwise, I mean, that most of this here is, all of it is essentially what we put in there. Total number of guest bedrooms in any rental is no more than 2, no more than 5 guests. Accessory structures can be, but can be rented overnight if someone has an accessory structure. In some cases, we do have one person that might be applying that wants to live in their accessory structure, build one, live in it, and rent out the house. And that would be perfectly okay.
as long as.
But it's 2.
Only-
As long as it's, yes, exactly. So it meets the basic requirements. We limited it to 10 with council review.
Mhm.
Should we decide this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, or keep the limit in case it isn't.
Yeah, we don't want to give up all of our,
Right.
Right,
You know,
because
Inventory.
that does.
Housing
affect the
inventory
prices.
too.
Yeah, the studies have shown that the more short-term rentals you have, it becomes the less affordable your housing
Yeah.
inventory is citywide.
50% of Australia, or at least Victoria, Australia, is supposed to be Airbnbs and Verbos. which makes
Wow.
it impossible for people to buy homes. It's
It
all
does.
vacation
And
homes.
that's what they're all living elsewhere, but not in Victoria or Sydney. Sydney's the same,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
Oh, I bet.
sorry, I
coast.
I have one
Yeah.
question.
Yes, sir.
So you have the applicant, okay, you've got the operator and you've got the owner. So what if the operator and the owner are two different people? Does the operator need to have the property owner's approval to be?
Yeah, that's why the
a-
property owner has to sign this.
Okay,
So this would be the case of a lease.
So just like when they get utilities,
Exactly.
And the-
got it, okay.
So, and
because the owner is basically on the hook for it if the renter decides they want to skip
Right.
down.
exactly. So this is a situation where you have someone who has leased an area, but wants to have an operator like
Hmm.
Airbnb,
Right.
you know, hire somebody to come in and make sure it's taken care of and all that and rented but it's also a lease that allows this kind of activity. So you want the owner to know
Right.
what's going on.
Of
Yeah.
We need
course.
to know who the operator is in case we have an issue or problem,
Right.
you know, and there's going to be there's a notification process in
Okay.
this
Mhm.
that folks need to mail the people around them, letting them know, here's the number you can call if there's issues or problems, that kind of thing. Now that's spelled out in a separate sheet, that basically a more friendly looking sheet of paper. This goes along with it because this is what you sign.
Right,
Just like our utility agreement is based upon our ordinances,
Mhm.
this is based on our ordinances. It's basically your understanding when you sign it that you have these conditions to meet.
so I also see number 21, a City of Monroe business registration, so I'm guessing we'll create that once this is all.
That is, yes, when passed by Monroe City Council, and that is actually on our ordinance penalties and business permits on new discussion.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
And I'm assuming that's just to let you know so we can
right. Gotcha,
move it to city council.
okay,
It'd be
perfect,
probably a similar thing, a first reading, second reading ordinance,
gotcha, okay.
because it is a new fee.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be very much. A lot of cities don't charge more than $50, $25 or $50 a year for it.
Yeah.
But it does register businesses in your city. You can also, like Harrisburg does, once you pay it, you're also could be listed on a city directory as well. So they
Right.
can give them a little bit
Yeah.
of benefit, but it does let people know who it is in case people come inquire.
Right, oh yeah, definitely. Okay.
I'm good.
No, okay.
Do you also need something? I mean, the for the occupancy or not the transient tax? Because adding a new tax, doesn't it need to go?
You passed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It- Ordinance is fine for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's what an ordinance is. Yeah,
Okay.
it actually by state law has to be passed by ordinance.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's fine. I just didn't, I want to know
That's
the,
a good question. but
Make
no,
sure we
by
follow the
It actually
process.
spells it out in the state law. It must be passed by ordinance.
okay.
Which is good.
I haven't, well, actually, I'll save it for other business. It's kind of related to this stuff, but it can wait.
Okay, if you're sure.
Yeah, it can wait. Thanks.
Okay, so we ready to move on to new discussion? We've already kind
We
of
are,
touched on.
so I
part of
will,
this.
what I will do is I will put put this up tomorrow. I will get this reformatted tomorrow by staff
Okay,
and we will have it available Thursday morning. And that's for Misty, who can come into the office if she's listening. She may come in Thursday morning and pick it up from staff.
Awesome. Very cool.
excellent. Okay,
How many,
Get the ball rolling.
Yep.
how many people are we expecting? I know that our limit currently is 10. Have you received much interest from people?
Misty
5 or
Croson
6
has
maybe?
been the one who's been on top of this since the beginning of the year,
Yeah,
wanting this done. I've had 2 other people ask me,
got it.
one out of Red Hills
Okay.
has asked, and another individual has asked over on 8th Street as well. So, and then other folks like Stephen Rose, who wants to put a coffee shop in that parking lot area across from Eastrom's. He owns that little acre of land there, a half acre, quarter acre.
Where,
This is that gravel parking lot where the Neestroms used to, right now for parking.
Oh.
Steve
where
Rose
the
and his wife are
statuary
allowing them
place
to
used to
use
be.
that. They want to put a coffee shop in,
Uh-huh.
a sit down
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some mixed
there
use.
and put mixed use, and then also put a short-term rental above that as
Okay,
well.
gotcha.
So I have
Cool.
three, so right now that I'm aware of three.
And the alleyway goes through there too, doesn't it still?
We have an easement behind them.
Yeah, 'cause it
behind
goes
that.
all the
Then
way to
there's
that one.
another small alleyway that extends on the
Next
Dollar
to
General
the,
side.
next to the Dollar General, yeah. All the
Right.
way- All the way up to the light. I believe.
Light, yes.
And then that other easement's
It's just a piece of property
it's
that
like
will,
20 feet wide.
yeah, 20 feet wide. So what,
It's where all of our.
we have a sewer line under,
Sewer line.
just sewer line under there.
Hmm.
Isn't there a storm drain from that?
No, the
creek?
storm drains in that slough that goes along the property line.
Well, okay, but if you go west from there, we own that's in that guy's yard, don't we?
That is, the slough isn't, but his whole backyard is.
Yeah, okay.
And so, that's another
Issue.
Thing.
issue. And Jesse, Brian, not Jesse Bounds, getting all I have two Brians and a Jesse. So Brian Oakes,
Right.
Mhm.
we may, so he's getting ready to
My neighbor.
partition that.
Mhm.
Right.
And we have a very small sliver of easement, actually a 6 feet. It goes from like 10 feet to 30 feet
Wow.
along
Oh,
his
wow.
property. It's just it's a weird shape,
Mhm.
triangular thing.
It's angled. It's just like mine. It's angled.
He is, what I'm gonna bring up is to sell that piece to him. He's willing to buy it.
Okay.
But it basically would give him a little bit better access, particularly fire access
Okay.
to his property there.
Very
We
good.
get bigger equipment down that.
Is there anything on that
No, it's,
It's a,
easement that like utilities or whatever that would cause any issue?
the
No.
only thing that's utilities is the power comes through there.
Okay.
Who's the person that you're,
It's Brian Oak.
Brian Oakes.
who is Brian
He bought
Oakes?
the property next to me, the old Wilbur Ellis property. They had a
Oh.
mobile home in here.
Oh,
And
okay,
he bought all this. My house sits here.
okay.
And so it's this little, his property line actually stops here. I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah,
And then there's the red line over here. That's what, in between that little wedge right
Okay.
there is where you stop.
Right. And so the small wedge, it's not a very big wedge,
yeah.
but what it would do is I think
Mhm.
allow anyone who's living there to have more
Mhm.
access,
Mm.
Yeah.
fire department access, keep anyone from, keeping the property line, which is very close on the Myers side of the
Hmm.
world. Just kind of keep good separation.
Nice.
And
That's
we
good.
can't use it. I mean, it's not
Right.
anywhere close to being a street and we have no utilities on it.
And it would be, even the property next to me that's designated Sixth Street, you would have to probably spend $500,000 just on the 125 feet of my frontage,
Jeez.
because it's just nothing but clay and mud.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's not a viable.
At some point, if it's,
Oh.
if it's an access issue for that, we could probably, because it is safety related, we could
Yeah.
probably get a small community block grant from the ODOT to
Okay.
put in a new street to make it a real street.
Got
So
it.
did I hear that the Wilbur Ellis,
Wilbur Ellis used to own all that, then it became Willamette Seed.
they haven't sold that property?
No,
No.
No, okay.
No.
No.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
no, they have not. It's just that Brian Oakes purchased that piece of
back
land that
piece.
had a residence
That
on it
back
back
piece.
in 1995 or 6. I think that was the
So he
last.
had
or
it clear up into the
2000s, yes, maybe it was 2000s.
Yeah, and then the structure that was on there has been
Mhm.
dismantled this
Yeah.
last weekend. Although there's still a lot of trash there,
Yeah,
so.
Mm.
yeah. There used to, you could see it from aerial photos. There used to be a manufactured home.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
there's no
pretty
issue either with the, cause the rail bed's right there next to it, right? And
Well, the
that's
rail
where
bed-
the path is gonna go.
Yeah, there wouldn't be, it would basically,
They'll have a crossing or
we'd have to have
something.
a crossing and also there's a ditch there. So we would have to make sure that
Put
the
some
storm
bollards up
drain
and
and,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, because the ditch runs between the
Mhm.
roadbed and that property.
And that property, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, it's actually quite a
Hmm.
bit of elevation change right there. It slopes down
It does.
quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a very unusual thing, but it would be nice to give it to,
Well, I'm
Brian,
not
so he could
against
develop
selling.
it.
I just want
Right.
to make sure
I'll
we
even buy
we
my section if you want.
look at all the ramifications of it. So
right.
that's all.
No, what would have to happen in order for us to do that, it would has to come back to council
Right.
for you for approval. There is a specific process for vacating easements.
Got it.
So,
Well, like I said, mostly I just want to make sure we're not, there's nothing that we're not thinking of that 'Cause I
Right.
know we have a path going in right there and then we had, I don't know, and as long as there's no utilities that we need access to, or, there's all
No.
sorts of stuff like that, that.
I do have a phone line that goes from here over to the here, but it's all on my property, so.
So during that process, you have to make sure there's easements in place for power, any utilities. For, in his case, he has a sewer going and water behind him, and sewer behind him. So it's not that he can't access it. But it's just to make sure that there is, reasonable access to his property, and particularly with the city owns a piece that is not usable by us.
Yeah,
Much better for someone else to maintain it than the city if it's not going to be used for
You
anything.
already have to
Definitely.
maintain it according to
Yeah.
the city ordinance.
Yeah, we do. We have to mow it and everything else.
yeah,
Right.
that's labor. That's
Yeah.
expense to the city.
So it'd be, yeah, if someone else can make you, this is good for the city. The benefit is we get 5 new homes in there, more hopefully affordable housing,
Yeah.
grow your tax base a little bit.
Well, you can get 5 in there. I thought it was 4.
5.
5.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll be 6,000 square foot lots. So it'll fit the GRB.
I thought there were 5,500 was the GRB.
It is, but he'll be putting 6,000 in.
That's good. Well, especially if he can buy that little extra, he can,
He can get his road access
yeah.
in off the depot.
Okay, shall we move on?
Mhm.
So new discussion, we've kind of touched on, well, we touched on I asked the question about the business permits already.
Right.
And then the ordinance penalties, we were gonna,
That's just there. I thought it was just there to jog my mind too. We were going to have a ordinance committee meeting.
yes,
The
I was just thinking
Benton
about that
County
too.
is asking is the reason why.
Benton
In order-
County's
Benton
asking.
County, because they're the ones enforcing,
Oh,
and our
okay.
penalties are
Understood.
kind of all over the place, and they want to know exactly what our intent is.
Okay, ordinance committee meeting, don't forget.
Do we have one scheduled or no?
No, we
We
don't.
Need
I-
one?
I
Okay.
have not.
So that's the reason why it's on new discussions, is basically to make sure we can get one scheduled, because Benton County is waiting on us.
Okay.
Benton County Sheriff's Office.
So we need to standardize them, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I have basically, we have a couple penalty groups in there that are basically like class A, B, C,
Yeah,
D with,
minor.
and the idea would be make that consistent throughout our
Mhm.
penalty groups.
Okay,
So a
Well, and they can have a,
traffic would be $25,
well, and you can put a range on them so that
Yes, that's what it
so
is.
the judge has leeway with, how hard he wants to go on it, no matter what one he goes into.
Well, and
but-
they do, this is for the, this is primarily for the citing official to go in and cite.
Yeah, whether it's a A, B,
B,
C, D.
And then cite the
then
fine
the
on there,
court
and then the
decides.
judge can decide whether, okay, this was really dumb. Are you gonna do it again? No, sir. Of course you aren't,
Dismissed.
that kind of thing.
so
Reduced.
I'm gonna propose a date for the ordinance committee meeting.
Yeah.
I was thinking like November 27th or 28th.
Oh, where is
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving?
It is the 20, when is it?
Thanksgiving,
Oh, that's
The
the 29th or
28th is Thanksgiving.
28th is Thanksgiving. Okay, 26th or
I
20,
can,
So we have,
25th is city council,
We have city council
26th.
on the
Sorry, yeah.
25th.
26th.
No, 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 no. I was looking at December. I'm sorry.
No, I wouldn't do that to you. What about the 26th? You got folks out of town?
I can do that if I can join remotely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm out of town.
Okay, so.
What
For
day of the
Monday.
week is that?
Tuesday.
That would be a
Tuesday.
Tuesday, sir.
Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
I'm out of town that whole week, I think. I might be
Okay,
back
so if
Thursday,
we were to go to the first week of December, like the 3rd or the 4th,
That's fine with me anyway.
any preference there? Harry, are you
I
back?
can do
but-
that.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm only out Thanksgiving week, but I might
Okay,
be back
understood.
Thursday for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
I
okay.
just,
Yeah,
don't know.
that's fine.
Like December would
first
be
week of-
better for me.
The first
Okay,
week of December? Okay,
Okay,
3rd or 4th, a preference?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna say the 4th.
Okay.
thank you. I
Yep.
wasn't gonna say anything, but the second planning commission, so.
Yeah,
I think I've got.
I
Harry's interest.
remember.
So I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry, that's Wednesday, December 4th.
that is correct, yes, 6 PM and we'll have it here.
Alrighty.
Okay, 6 PM. All right. It's much easier when you're all right here. Real quick, sorry, guys. Okay, all right, done. Done. Okay. All right, anything more on business permits? Nope, okay. Let's see, then we've got review of business for the council meeting. So,
I will come to you with a first reading for business permits. Clearly an update on the DEQ.
Thank you.
Short-term rentals is well in hand now.
Library update
Library update from the
meeting.
meeting. We have the ordinance in December. That's good.
you mentioned a resolution. Is that
You already did your
I don't recall a
proclamations for
resolution.
the holidays, right? The
Yeah, I did. There,
food drive and the
food drive and the toy drive. Yep, those are done. Okay, so I missed one. First reading, the business permits.
Business permit, that needs to be an ordinance.
That's an ordinance.
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
ordinance.
Library update. I know I'm missing one or two in between.
The library update,
Mhm.
and I guess that goes with it in the city hall. Finish up the, because by that time I'll actually have
pictures or something.
diagrams.
Nice.
We've kind of settled on it, but
Yeah.
between now and then, we will have the entire picture plus any financing and contract and everything else.
Okay.
So you think we're gonna make a decision then? Decision time?
It may very well be decision time.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
We're gonna get a new city hall soon.
Hey,
It depends on
everyone's
what-
happy.
Might depend on what goes on with the library
This
discussion.
is true.
If the
If there was something else besides those
Ordinance?
three.
Do you have ordinance on there? Committee?
Ordinance committee on the 4th.
Yeah. But that will be on the agenda.
And also,
Yeah, that'll-
under, I guess, old business DEQ.
Oh, DEQ, that was the one I
Yeah,
was,
right,
DEQ
DEQ.
update.
It was on the business before, so this would be old business.
Okay.
well, you were gonna check in with the
Our
lawyer, so we might have some update on that.
That's exactly
Attorney
correct.
update,
Yeah.
maybe? Okay.
Yes.
Why is that like-
Can I,
Yes, go ahead.
my other business thing?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I don't know if this is even an appropriate or reasonable topic, but I have a neighbor who owns a small plot of properties. I don't know if they're distinct lots with their own dwellings on them, or if it's one large lot that has multiple dwellings.
Mr.
And-
Griffith,
What's that?
Mr. Griffith.
Are they
Michael down
diagonal
the
from me?
corner or Kitty corner from you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very nice person. I've enjoyed my interactions with this person. There have been a couple of times as I've walked by and I've interacted with the crew that he's hired to work on one of the rentals, and they're the same crew that worked on the red one. They've like just filled me in on what they think is going to happen with Mr. Griffith or Griffin, whatever his name is. And how he wants to buy more properties up the hill now, like toward the west, including the one directly across from me, next to the fairs, the big purpley mauve gray house, which I don't know if the owners of that house know that that's his plan. And I didn't say anything to the owners of that house, but, and then they told me about some other plan that they had. And I guess I just, having lived in Corvallis for a long, long time and having seen landlords start to get a little grabby.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's what this person is doing. I would hate to see a small handful of people start buying up lots and lots of properties in this town. And our topic earlier about, Airbnbs and short-term rentals in Australia just kind of reminded me of that. And I don't know if we ever want to consider having a limit on the number of properties a single person in Monroe can own.
That's interesting. Does anyone know if other areas have that? That's an interesting, probably an easy.
Maybe it's not a thing, but there's a great big old historic house right up the hill. Maybe he could invest in that one instead.
Talk about that.
Yeah,
too.
Oh, good. I hope he does buy it.
Unfortunately, you might be breaking some constitutional
Yeah,
issues there.
I don't know how you
Y-
can
y-
regulate what people can
know,
buy.
if anybody can rent a house, it doesn't, we can't tell them how many houses they can own to rent.
Yeah, I guess I just having
I know what you're
lived
saying
with
because
Kip,
I.
what's his name, with the red
That's
door.
Actually why I moved out of Corvallis, because the same thing was happening.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
yeah,
all these same people came in, the rents doubled and tripled overnight,
yeah.
and you couldn't get any property.
I appreciate that we have more rentals in town because of this person, but ultimately, like, he has control over a very small inventory of rental properties that maybe somebody else might want to own and rent out, or maybe just have a family in, and as owners, I don't know. I know, that was kind of a weird thing to bring up, but I did, and it's out.
Well, I know some cities have actually purchased properties
Mm,
and then have used them for affordable housing and that type of thing.
Hmm.
Or have purchased it and then have a nonprofit group
Hmm.
manage it,
mhm.
so that it does retain its character. The other thing is to crack down on ordinances for property maintenance and that type of thing, which we know in Monroe
Yeah.
has always been kind of an issue.
Yeah.
But we can certainly start telling folks that we may not be able to tell them who can own it, but we can certainly say if you own it, you need to meet city standards for. your
I think
household
these homes are
property.
actually nicely maintained. I think he does a good job bringing them into a nicer state out of disrepair. So to me, that's not really an issue. I guess I just feel a little sad that one person owns like 4 homes already and is thinking about expanding into buying more.
And he has definitely, he
I-
comes to City Hall frequently.
I wonder if we could have a tax based on the number of tax lots a person owns,
Yeah,
increasingly steep with the number of tax lots you own.
Well, you can also,
I mean, it's a discussion for another time, but just a thing to think about.
yeah,
well, you know, another issue with that too is, and not an issue, but just you know, we have historically not put taxing districts and that type urban renewal growth areas because we want to be fair to the people, Counselor, that you're talking about, the low income family that wants
Yeah.
to survive.
yeah,
But if you now have blocks that are
usurped.
owned by people to make a profit,
Yeah,
then why shouldn't we also ask them to improve their streets and sidewalks and, you know, the infrastructure as well?
yeah.
Because now they're getting a profit for it.
Hmm.
That might also indirectly curb what people want to do or not want to do. To simply say, nope. If we want to improve this block or these areas, you don't have to do the entire city. You can do
Right.
it by block.
Yeah,
So those other mechanisms, a lot of cities do that. That's how they get their infrastructure in. And this might be a way to encourage people that if they want to do this, there is, like our
Right.
SDCs, there are costs involved to
right.
growing your community. But so that's another idea for you too, is to
That's
look at those
interesting.
different mechanisms.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the entire town, but it could be blocks that you are aware
Hmm.
that are changing hands.
Mhm.
Perhaps they should be helping pay for the infrastructure.
And that's interesting. And I just want to explain that the only reason this caught my attention is because I was walking the dogs past those properties and this conversation started. Like, they're not an eyesore for me. I don't mind looking across the street. I like knowing that there's a family of kids across the way from me. They're nice kids. I just thought it was interesting that the owner of those 3 houses is talking about buying another house right across from them. And it just seems a little like, how many houses do you need? You're just, I am a big proponent of low income housing. I've had friends in HUD when I was in grade school and junior high, and there's no judgment for me on that. I just don't know how many houses one person needs. That's all. I'm sorry. Just putting it out there.
We could certainly not take advantage, but, you know, we haven't enforced, you know, what homes look like really, for a lot of reasons, because we don't have the money to do so,
Right. Yeah.
for abatement processes. We also would love to get our streets
Mhm.
and
Up to
looking
date.
nice. And
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of folks have come to you and have come to me and said, why aren't our streets of Maine, Kelly and
Commercial.
commercial look
Mhm.
better,
Mhm.
you know? So maybe this is an opportunity to reevaluate that going forward
Yeah.
over the next few years to see how you'd like to do that. Triple tax them if necessary. I know. Be careful what you ask for.
Why? What do you know,
Not
Tim?
taxing, but this is a block tax and this is for infrastructure.
Oh, I don't. Is it, are they 4 distinct lots or is it one lot with 4 dwellings?
I don't,
Interesting.
He does.
Got it.
Yeah.
It would be great if he would mind kicking in and helping bring the streets up to a better condition then.
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know how you can just go
Yeah, you'd have. to-
one person that owns a place and then try to impose on them without imposing on
places.
anybody else that owns a
you'd
place.
have to
You
do it
own a
block at
place.
time.
You
Kick in
do it
too.
as an entire block. You cannot do
Yeah.
just one person because that is a tax.
So if you have 4 houses owned by one person on one side of the street and 4 on the other side that are 4 different people,
Mhm.
all of those people are gonna pay.
Right.
Mm,
Everyone in that area does this, but you don't have to do the entire city. But you
Got
do
it.
have to delineate, you have to pass an ordinance that establishes basically a block system.
mhm.
And then you can say, this is what we're gonna do, and people get a vote.
Yep.
Got
That's
it.
been the process since the 50s.
Yeah, it's codified in the state laws. It's
Okay.
not something
Yeah,
that
I remember growing up having my parents have to pay to improve the street
we did too.
and everybody
Yeah.
along the way had to pay the street.
Then the risk you run is you've got some people on that same block that are barely hanging on. You start doing that, you lose them, and then who's gonna buy it? Somebody who's wealthy because they
Mhm.
have the money to buy it, and you've just edged another family out of their home,
Mhm.
and they're on the streets or wherever trying to start over again. So you have to really think about,
Now, what a block is, are we talking about both sides of the street between this street and this street? Or are we talking about a block like
It's
this? Because I
basically-
was thinking
It's
this.
establishing a district.
Okay,
Okay, it's not.
Got it.
It's establishing a district, and a district can be a block at a time. It
mhm.
can be several blocks. It could be a whole area.
I see.
But you
Okay.
have, the city council has to establish it by ordinance. And yes, there's mechanisms and the city's gonna have to decide whether it wants to keep streets and infrastructure the way they are.
Got it.
And if you want to improve it, how are you going to do it?
I see.
And so this is a mechanism that is used by most cities to take care of it. And yes, gentrification is a fallout
Hmm.
piece from that.
Like when we put 8th Street in,
Mhm.
they only made them do half that street, half a side, but it was dictated that whoever built the other side had to do the same.
Right, so when Surge gets his, and he knows he has to
develop
complete
it.
and develop that so that it's the same width as down by where Counselor Winthor's at. They have to improve
Yeah.
that street to that
So
standard.
at the time,
I'm sorry, what was that? I don't, no.
Oh, yes. Little remonstrance. Yeah.
Well, a lot of folks that we're doing construction for that do not have, that we're not in the process of developing yet,
Mhm.
we ask that we do what's called a waiver of remonstrance. It's a signed agreement that says we're not improving the street right now, but when we do, you've got to pay for your portion of the sidewalk, street and gutter and stormwater and any other utilities that come down, infrastructure improvements. But we're not going to do it right now because we're not doing anything with this street. We
Hmm.
have several of them around town.
and I think, doesn't
Interesting.
that stick with the property, not?
It sticks with the
Regardless
property, not
whatever
with the
one-
owner.
Yep.
Right,
Right.
goes on the
Mhm.
deed.
Mhm.
And when they originally signed it, it might have been $10,000 to get all the improvements.
No, it's
Now,
50.
30 years later, it's
Ooh,
A lot,
30 or 40,000.
right?
interesting.
It's something similar to what we do with SDCs, but like basically you're saying you're gonna pay it in the future and not
Right.
right
Hmm.
now.
We're gonna give you a buy for the moment, but it's on your deed, and just be aware that
Yeah, that you're
if we get
responsible
to
for this
that
when we
point
get to the. yeah.
for,
Whenever. yeah.
improving your street, you're responsible, the property owner is responsible for it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for mentioning that. I bet.
Oh, yes.
Already in
Mhm.
so.
Thank you. I hadn't heard that
Anyone
term.
now that's putting in new developments gets and there's no improved road yet, has
Mhm.
a waiver of remonstrance sign.
Yeah.
I have them do that as a
Mhm.
process before they
Right.
can do anything.
I see.
Okay, anything else?
I'd
Go
like
ahead.
to go back to business permits. Sorry, I didn't
Sure,
want to
go
do it
ahead.
over Zoom. when did that pop up? What did we decide? How are we deciding who's a business and who has to pay that? And what's going on with that? I didn't understand all the.
Well, let's see, it's mentioned back on the back page here, the back page of the application.
And so is that but is that going to be for every business in the city or is that
In the city,
every business? in the
every
city?
business.
So how are you deciding if it's a business? If it's a home business, how are you gonna find all the people to have them all pay?
State, if they're in the state of Oregon Business Registry. If you're listed, which you should be.
You don't have to be if you operate under your own name.
Do you have fees that you've already set for it?
It has to
I
come to
don't know.
you.
Okay,
You can approve it, deny it, say we don't need a business permit. You can make your argument. That's up to you.
Yeah,
Most cities do have business permits.
because I know we talked about doing permits for the rentals. But I don't remember it being a general.
It was a business permit. Yeah, that's how it has to be. It has to be a business
you
permit.
can't do
Otherwise,
one without the other.
Right.
Right,
So
right.
that's the thing.
Mhm.
That, I just wanted to make sure that that
No,
was
it
clear.
was my understanding, it wasn't, it was a permit for the
Oh,
short-term rental.
right.
permit, Not,
And that's what I thought too.
Business.
So when all of a
Mhm.
sudden it was all of the business.
Right.
yeah.
All the
right. So that's
businesses
where
need a
I'm
permit
confused.
aside from the rental. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to make sure that that was clarified.
Alrighty,
I didn't know that that was the thing.
Yeah, so,
there you
a
go.
business permit is separate from so if you want to bring a food cart business in. You want to have a long branch,
Yep. They had to have business. permit.
Okay, anything else?
I just wanted to bring that up because I know that that's gonna kind of open a can of worms with the sizes of business and stuff too,
Mhm.
so.
well, it's up to you to make, to decide who's going to get a business permit or not, and if you even want to do it.
Alrighty. Hey, if there's nothing else. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.